It's windy, honey. She's probably curled up somewhere. You can't worry about that cat every single day, darling. An AWOL cat. Always got an AWOL cat. There's always one. It's very, very windy here today. Warm, but windy. Christmas, nice to see you. Dear. Look, I had a big list. A big list of things. How am I going to stand and get out of this wind? Might prove challenging. Maybe I'll go next door, actually. Bear with again. Yeah, I had a big list of stuff, which we might get to. But probably like a lot of people, feeling a bit sort of, today. I'm not going to do the whole I'm deeply affected by the death of Charlie Kirk thing and try and spin off of the back of it, even though I've titled this live stream Charlie. But that's just, honestly, just out of a bit of respect for the guy as a human being. A lot of people, a lot of worms have come out of the woodwork. You know, I don't agree with what he used to say and this, that and the other. It just feels really the wrong time to be talking about that shit. At the end of the day, he's a 31-year-old guy that was doing what he's constitutionally allowed to do in the United States. Speak freely. He never assaulted anybody, other than maybe with some words. And he's a father of two and a husband. And he's been killed effectively for using words that somebody didn't like. That's it. If that's the example of freedom and democracy, you can keep it. It ain't for me. And the more I see about freedom and democracy, the less I want to be involved in it. And the more I'm told that I live in a dictatorship and that Putin is an evil dictator, the more happier I am, to be honest. But anyhow, like I say, I've got this big list of stuff. But what I'm going to start with is something that's not on the list. And this is, it's rife across social media at the moment that this is a professional hit. Oh, epic. You'll hear this in a minute. Woo-hoo. Yeah, what's rife across social media at the moment from armchair experts is that this is a professional hit. This is a professional sniper assassination, because that was a shot taken at 200 metres away and he was shot in the neck. So let's just put a bit of context to that, shall we? I'm by no means a professional sniper, but with an readily available gun in the West, 6.5 Creedmoor, the assassin's weapon of choice apparently. But with that, and a half decent scope, and an hour. God, it's windy around here. I'm getting out of here. Oh, I'll go this way. Make your mind up, Chris. Yeah, and an hour. You can zero that scope in, and I have. And you can hit something the size of a 10p piece at 200 metres. So, as I said with Trump, when they all came out of the woodwork regarding Trump's attempted assassination, going, oh my God, it was an amateur night. This wasn't a guy might have been a professional, But I'll be honest, I think it's more likely that he was just, what do you want to call him, a hobby shooter. Somebody that was competent with a gun, but professional. Professional wouldn't have shot Charlie Kirk in the neck. That was the drop of the bullet at that range. Now, a professional would have known that, so he'd have aimed high on the head, without being too crude, but it would have been well above ear height to ensure the drop of the bullet and hitting the head. That to me looks more like somebody has aimed at the side of the head, the drop of the bullet has hit him in the neck. That isn't a professional. At 200 metres, you think about the size of a human head, and like I say, at 200 metres, I can hit a 10 pence piece. So what do you think a pro can do? Because if I can do that, then a pro should be able to do it, shouldn't they? Shouldn't be too taxing for them, should it? Now, there are always some variables with any shot like that, I guess. Wind can always play a part, and it does. Distance, obviously, you have to allow for drop of the bullet. And the platform you're shooting from. In this case, it looks like potentially the shooter was shooting from the top of a building, and he had all the time in the world to set up in the prone position, which he was. So I'm sorry, I don't buy that this is some professional hit. I accept that it's somebody that's competent with a gun, but professional sniper I don't. Because a professional sniper would have hit him in the head. It wouldn't have been a miscalculation. God, dear, so windy. Sorry about this. It wouldn't have been a miscalculation and, you know, hit him in the neck. And it's certainly no professional sniper would aim for the neck. No way. You aim centre mass of the head, just above the ear. So, yeah, like I say, the armchair heroes are coming out telling everybody it's a professional hit, and I just don't see that, and they're the reasons why. But, you know, regardless, somebody that I agreed with a lot of what he said is dead because of what he said. Now, the exception probably is, or was, his stance on Israel per se, but a lot of people, I think, have made a lot more of that, because he certainly questioned the Netanyahu government, and was asking questions about it. So was his opinion changing on it? Maybe. You know, everybody has an opinion, and the clever people are capable of changing that opinion in the light of evidence. Now, is that what happened to Charlie? Maybe. But move that aside for a moment. His stance on transgenderism is one of the few people, one of the early people to come out publicly and condemn it. And I wholeheartedly agree with that. It is an evil ideology that mutilates and kills children. That's it. Simple as that. His stance on the dumbing down of school kids and universities, and his stance on being able to say, you know, really without inciting violence, but being able to say what you think and feel and have a conversation about it, I agree with. So, yeah, but either way, you know, whether you fully agreed with him or you fully disagreed with him, at the end of the day, he was a human being that's been shot for what he said. And that's in a democratic country where freedom of speech is paramount. Yeah. Going well at the moment, that plan, isn't it? So, yeah, here in Russia, in the dictatorship, remember, where everybody's scared to talk, we're all still walking about. Nobody's dead. So, I'll take the dictatorship. If that's your definition, I'll have that. I'll take some of that. Thank you very much. Sign me up. But anyhow, without getting too deep, just probably worth remembering, regardless of what you think and feel of the guy, that he's a husband and a father, and he's got 2 very little children now left behind without a dad, all because of what he said. Mental, absolutely mental. Right, what else am I going to look at? Trump. I've got Trump weak and unable to make a decision. Pretty much outlines it, doesn't it? Scared of making a decision, scared of the neocons. He's no Charlie Kirk, that's for sure. Yeah. Zelensky declared victory. When was that? Sunday, I think, wasn't it? He declared that Ukraine has won, which is great. You know, I mean, that's fantastic. It's probably the most amazing thing he's said, because clearly that means the war's over now. If Ukraine has won, yeah, all done. That means that that he's obviously going to end the war now, because he's declared victory, and ending the war means meeting Russia's terms, because that's how the war ends. That's the only way the war ends. Remember this. This isn't, Trump ends the war, Zelensky ends the war, the man in the moon ends the war, Russia ends the war, as the West calls it, on Russia's terms, when Russia's terms are met. So Zelensky announcing victory means that he's obviously accepting Russia's terms, and we can all go home happy, apart from the poor bastards that are in the ground. So that's good news. I'm known for my sarcasm. Another thing, why haven't Russians taken out all the bridges across the Dnieper River? Somebody sent that to me. If you are so clever, why haven't the Russians taken out all the bridges now? Well, my theory on that, and I'm no expert, clearly, but my theory on that is because they are capable of doing it. They've proved that just now. Hit one of the bridges, 7 times with 7 drones or something silly, just one after the other. My theory on that is quite simple, really. It doesn't serve a purpose to take the bridges out yet, because it's not the wet season. You take the bridges out and you just put pontoon bridges up. It doesn't really hinder the enemy too much. It will do for a few days, but then they'll repair the bridge, or put a pontoon bridge up or whatever. So what I think is those bridges are going in the wet season, because that's when the river swells. At the moment, you can get across it in various places, but in the wet season, you've got no chance other than using those bridges. So there ain't a lot of point in taking them out now. Let's wait until it's wet, until the river's a lot bigger. Makes more sense, doesn't it, really? Anyhow, that was the question I got asked, so that's the answer I'm giving. Russia has said that pretty much the only solution to this conflict now, because diplomacy, is out the window. West doesn't seem to want diplomacy. They just seem hell-bent, especially European leaders. They just seem hell-bent on war. Ursula, God bless her, a lovely creature that is, and all the other psychos that join in. War. That's all they want. Why? For Ukraine, to protect the Ukrainians. That's what it's all about, to protect their freedom and democracy, and to ensure their way of life. A lot of dead Ukrainians that would probably disagree with that, had they been alive. So it's nothing to do with that, is it? Let's face it. Absolutely nothing to do with Ukrainian sovereign territory or any other bullshit. It's all about keeping America in Europe, because as Trump makes more noise about pulling away from Europe, Europe gets more and more scared. European leaders get more and more scared, because they put all their eggs in one basket, which any businessman will tell you, dangerous game, but they did. Put all their eggs in one basket. You supply the military, Mr. Trump, or the previous administrations, and we'll do all the other stuff. That's the globalist agenda. We won't have an army, we'll just buy one in. Until that army goes, yeah, I've got other things to do now. Don't really want to be helping you lot. You have to sort it out yourself. So now, they're like, fuck. So this is all about keeping America engaged in Europe. It's nothing to do with Ukraine or Ukrainian people. Yeah. What else? I'll get to you guys in a minute. Sorry. China, Russia. So I think what you can say the US and Trump have been very successful at is making an incredibly strong partnership between China and Russia. Way, way, way beyond economical. Because the economics lead to the military. Because to protect the money, sometimes you've got to use force. So Trump has managed to successfully join Russia and China at the hip. With Siberia, power of Siberia 2. That, for a European perspective, is absolute suicide. They should never have let themselves get in that position where they've allowed that to happen. It's not for them to allow, but they should never have been in a position where that happened. They should have gone, oh, that will be bad news for us. We will never, ever have Russian energy again. And regardless of our stance right now, at some point in the future, we're going to need that. Well, they fucked that job. That's game over. That's done. Power of Siberia 2 means there will never be gas or oil, pipeline gas or oil, going to Europe from Russia. Because it's all now contracted to China. Now what that does, not only makes a strong economic bond, makes a strong military bond as well. Because China is going to be very much reliant on Russian energy, it's buying more of it and less American LNG. And they're not putting all their eggs in one basket, but they certainly are putting a lot of their eggs in a particular basket. So if Russia then, for example, comes under attack, everybody keeps singling out Russia as if, oh, we'll deal with Russia and everything else will fall. No, it won't. Because now it's in China's interest to make sure that Russia is safe and secure. Very much so. In fact, I would say it's vital. So, should these crazy Western idiots get their way where they try to attack Russia more than they are at the moment, where they try to, get their European army together and all that other bullshit that's never going to happen. If they think that all that's going to happen is they're going to surround Russia and they're going to attack from various NATO countries from different positions, they're going to be able to overrun Russia. It will never happen anyway. But if it even remotely looked like that and Russia didn't invoke its nuclear doctrine and it just sat there and went, well, I know we said we'd launch nuclear weapons, but we won't, China will be stepping in. China will be coming in as a huge ally for the reason I've just given. So the Trump administration has been extremely successful in making probably the strongest alliance in the world right now, which is Russia and China on a military basis. You consider China's got 2 million troops and they can produce stuff, a lot of stuff, real quick. I don't think anybody can argue with their industrial capabilities. Well, that's not just limited to knock-off Chinese goods, because Chinese goods now really are standalone products. It's like my car, it's Chinese, but where it used to be just a rip-off of a Western car, that's all Chinese cars were, wasn't it? It was just look at the Mini. Lovely that was, wasn't it? But where that's what it used to be, that's all over. They're decent products in their own right. And if you think that just relates to domestic products and not military, think again. Anyhow, let's say hello, because I know I'm going to be a long way behind otherwise. Oh dear. Now, apologies for the wind. Yeah, hi Chrisman. Yeah, it's going good, mate. It's going all right. Anika said hi. Mohammed, he was full of shit. You're entitled to your opinion. Where's your humanity, Mohammed? Greetings from San Francisco, California. Hello to you, sir. Nicoletta, Charlie. Yeah. as I say, regardless of whether you agree with what he said, he was a human being. He was a husband and a father, and he's been killed for what he said. Not for what he's done. He hasn't run around massacring people. It's not like he was on death row. He's just got an opinion that he was vocal about. Like me, like anybody else on YouTube. So if you're the sort of scumbag that's cheering for his death and going, yeah, it's a great thing, what's wrong with you? You're of no value in this world. Take yourself outside and delete yourself, because you are worthless. Simple as that. If you think that cheering for somebody's death who hasn't done anything other than use some words is a justifiable reason, you're a scumbag. And there's tens of thousands of YouTubers that on your basis should all be killed. Maybe that's what you think, but you probably want to turn the mirror on yourself and turn the camera around and just have a look at yourself and see who you really are, not who you think you are. Anyhow, I'm going to go on a rant, and I can tell I'm in a ranting kind of mood. Hi everybody. How am I? I mean, it's windy. I'm in my garden. Can't use the pool. Well, I can use the pool. It's about 28 degrees still. It's just a bit windy, so you get out and it's a bit, you know, especially when you're used to 33 degrees. Spoilt. Having as if he may have been, but he's not worth. Yeah, exactly. Greetings from Moscow. Kermakov? Sorry, mate. My Russian is terrible. Ricardo Gutierrez. Good morning from San Diego, California, USA. At work now on Southwest Airlines. Wow. Good morning to you, sir. GibX is of no value. Nosfadania. Kansas Owens, make America Great Britain again. Oh dear. Careful what you wish for. Not entirely sure that would be a good plan. Anthony Reedy. Elevation, if you think about it, came from the roof and Charlie just landed forward. Yeah, but again, even shooting from a raised position, you still have to factor in bullet drop over 200 metres. Regardless of whether you're shooting from a raised position, because you're using a scope, so you're not just lobbing it in. You're going to be using a scope at that range. That scope's going to be, let's say the shooter pre-scouted the area, went up on the roof, used a rangefinder to pinpoint the platform that Charlie was going to shoot from, established it was 200 metres, then went and zoomed his scope, or calculated his scope. Well, I can't think of my worms. Can't get my worms out. But set it up for that distance for 200 metres. Whether that's a raised position or not, you've still got to allow for bullet drop. And there's no way that you wouldn't have made a headshot at 200 metres. No way. Not a professional. You know, a hobby shooter, yeah, but a professional wouldn't have made that inaccuracy. Wouldn't have been 5 to 6 inches out. You know, distance from here to here. Span of your hand, 6 inches. This is where you'd be aiming, this area. Okay, because if it's slightly off in any direction, it's still devastating. So that distance from there to where he was hitting the neck, no professional sniper would be that far out at that range. 1,000 metres, yeah, absolutely, all sorts of factors come in. But 200 metres from a static platform, i.e. a roof, no chance. Not a cat in hell's chance, I'm afraid. And the reason that's my opinion is because I have spent time in a field pinging away at a target at 200 metres. And if some muppet like me can do it, pros definitely can. He leaned forward to grab the microphone. Yeah, but he also came back, didn't he? He leant forward and then he came back to answer the question. And with anything, if somebody leans forward and then sits back, at that point, as they sort of lean back forward again, that's the point. But like I say, you know, if you're picking a point above the head, you're expecting, you know, an inch maybe even 1.5 inches, 2 inches even off of centre, you're still hitting the head, you're not hitting the neck. So this isn't a professional hit, in my opinion. Idio, he was shot in the jugular on purpose. No, definitely not. No pro would try and shoot in the jugular. You know, I mean, this is movie stuff. You guys watch too many films if that's what you think. You need to go and actually go to a gun range and have a bit of experience with a proper gun, because you're watching too much Hollywood. Alexander, hello, how nice to hear a real Briton again. Thank you. Anthony Reid, sounded like a pump action. That one has me puzzled. Okay. Shut up, idiot, you little fool. Mossad false flag. Don't really see how it's a false flag. I don't see that as a Mossad hit either, because there are a lot more people that are very, very anti-Israel, far more so than Charlie Kirk. You know, Charlie was, I would say, up until fairly recently, I would say an active supporter of Israel. It's only in the last few months, really, where their position is indefensible, that I think the likes of Charlie Kirk have actually took stock and started to look at it and go, I can't keep supporting this no matter what. I'm a human being. And I think that was the path that he was on. So I don't believe that this is a Mossad hit either. One, for those reasons, there are more prominent targets. And two, like I say, this isn't a professional hit. Distracts from Epstein. Yeah, well, everything and anything can distract from that. That's, you know, bro need hair, everything. Okay, whatever. Epstein, 9/11, Ukrainian girl on the train. Yeah, there's lots of stuff, isn't there? All happening in the free and democratic state of the United States. Sounds good. Dan, hey. And that is the question he was asked before he got shot. They say the shot was taken by a professional for around 300 metres. Well, they've said 200 metres away, and spotted a private jet leaving in the air. Hey, aliens came and took him away. Who knows? You know, stick with the facts, really. There's an awful lot of people reporting that it was taken from the rooftop. There was somebody seen on the roof, lying in a prone position. It was actually filmed on a roof, and that roof is 200 metres away. So, you know, working on those points. This is where your world politics is explained. No, this is my opinion, mate. That's what it is. It's my opinion, based on spending 2, 3, 4, sometimes 5 hours a day, every single day, because I'm retired, so I don't have a lot to do, unless the wife wakes up in a particular mood where she wants me to make something busted. But aside from that, I spend 2, 3, 4, 5 hours a day, every single day, and have done for a few years now, looking at all aspects of news, independent media, global finance, and obviously current situation around the world, because everything is linked down to money, and I'm interested in money. So this isn't the place to get all the answers, but this is where you'll get some English bloke's opinion based on a lot of reading. Rocco, indeed. Yes, the attack on Charlie Kirk was appalling. His wife and young children have lost the most important person in their lives. Yeah, and that's, I think, what people should really be focusing on. Not, you know, whether you agree with his opinion or not. Let's just be people. Let's just be human. Self-employed, it's a very plausible take. Well, again, I'm very known for my logical approach to everything. I don't do emotional stuff very often. I get emotional, I'm a bloke, you know, and I think of my dad. That makes me emotional. But generally, I just do logic, you know. Zoom out a little bit, take a helicopter view. What's the logic? Well, based on my experience with guns, I've worked out the logic. All wars driven by an alternate agenda. Yeah, it's all it's iceberg stuff, isn't it? All wars are icebergs. It's not what you see above the water, it's what's below. Much like Trump, really. It's not what he says, it's what he does. Always remember that with him. EU, they're demonic. You're going to get an argument from me there. Remind me of Czechoslovakia. Eddie, you enjoy my analysis of the current events. Well said. Thank you, Eddie. Mum's high. Thoughts on the 19 drones entering? Well, toxic hazard. It's now, that's 19 I've heard. So I've heard 5, 10, 12, 15 and now 19. Lots and lots of pictures. Lots and lots of made up pictures and staged pictures. I think there's a picture of a drone that's sitting on top of a chicken coop, which is really clever because the chicken coop is under some trees. So this drone has just sort of floated down and landed on a chicken coop, has it? It's not damaged the trees, not damaged the chicken coop. The facts are all drones were either decoys or surveillance. None of them had any kind of warhead. And there is evidence to say that at least 2 of them had been previously collected and then altered and repaired. Russia doesn't need to collect drones and repair them. So you've got to ask the question, who and why? You will see in the coming days and weeks that this is another headline that will prove to be false. At the moment, the headline is Russia has attacked Poland with drones. That's the headline. And in the coming days and weeks, much like all of the other headlines, you will see that it's a load of bollocks. Rocco, good morning and good afternoon. Sean, thank you. You get to my age and you've not taken good care of yourself when you were a kid. Yeah. But go fuck yourself. Andreas Aviation, hello from Athens. Hi. Dilip Banger, your accent is fucking awesome, man. It's the only one I got. Diva Fever, good morning, comrade. Hey, hello, I want to say how cool the caramel colour brick looks. Thank you. Caramel, I guess. Yeah. It's different, isn't it? It's different from what I'm used to in the West, which is just sort of red brick, but we've got a bit of a featured colour. Yeah. It's alright, isn't it? Quite happy. We like our house. When do you say enough's enough, though? If Russia start pushing into Poland, do we just sit on our hands? Well, Henry, let's just try and make it really clear real quick. The only people that are suggesting Russia is going to push into Poland are Poland, scared, and all of the other crazy Euro leaders. Russia has repeatedly said over and over and over and over and over again it has no interest or will. And if you just think logically, why on earth would Russia want to go into Poland? For what? For what purpose? They want to take over the world. Oh yeah. Russia is managed by Austin Powers. Global domination and $1 trillion. No. Putin hasn't spent 20 years turning Russia around to then plunge it into war with all of Europe and try and take over Europe. By default, he's got no choice to defend based on the current craziness, but there is no plan to expand anywhere. So that's all bollocks, mate. Why Donald Trump is mad about India? He's not mad about India, he's scared of BRICS. And he sees that out of the 3 big players, India, he thinks, is going to be the easiest one to manipulate and control. Unfortunately, Indians don't like being manipulated and controlled. They like to be dealt with. They like to be respected because they're big on respect. And they like to feel that any partner is a friendly partner. They're very, very loyal. So all the time that partner has respect for them, they'll be hugely loyal. But as soon as they think and feel that that partner isn't respectful of them and treats them badly, then they'll look for other avenues. Another success, another Trump success. Andreas, that's bullshit. Okay. Did I hear about Charlie Kirk? No, mate. No, I've been under a rock. Douchebaggy, apt name. Just deal with the trolls. Hello, geese. Yeah, brutal shot. I mean, any kind of shot that takes somebody's life's pretty brutal. And any kind of shot that goes slightly wrong, which this one did, and hits somebody in the neck like that and causes a slower and more painful death than was necessary, it's definitely brutal. May have been a hired assassin, Rocco. Yeah, absolutely. That is absolutely a possibility. Is it a possibility that it's just one bloke that's come out of his mum's basement and just decided to go and do this? It's always the possibility. Or is there the possibility that he was paid to go and do it? Again, it's a possibility. But in my mind, it's not a possibility that he was a professional sniper. Alien. Yeah, rest in peace indeed. Bussy Pants, he was an Israeli shill. Okay, well, do you know what? Let's just assume that you're right. He was an Israeli shill. Did he deserve this? And if you say yes, you need to fuck off and go and get some humanity, to be honest. Charlie Kirk is new Martin Luther King. Well, when you start making martyrs out of people, you run the risk of that situation getting a bit out of control. So it's a dangerous game, isn't it? Much like the Qatar strike, Israel has successfully managed to prove that it is now a terrorist state. I mean, it's been widely regarded as being a terrorist state for a long time, let's face it. But they've always, I won't say been able to argue the point, but they've always argued the point. And that point has been that, you know, their assaults on people in various places are preemptive strikes, and they're for their own defence. Now, personally, I disagree with that, but that's the point that they loosely could have argued. But after this, can't argue that point. Because if you go and do a precision strike with missiles, potentially you expect collateral damage, but you weigh that up against what you're going to take out. But if you don't take out what you're supposed to take out, i.e. the people, and what you do take out are innocent civilians and maybe some bodyguards, that then becomes a terrorist attack because it's on a sovereign country that you're not at war with. That's a terrorist attack. So by definition, Israel's latest manoeuvre has proved and 100% labelled itself as a terrorist state. I don't know even what you're saying, so you can go. You are crazy. Well, I guess you're Israeli. Iddy, what do you know about shooting? Ex-military, which regiment? Dear, dear, dear. Sniper indeed. There you go, Michael, see? Exactly my point. The guy was good, but not the best. Aimed for the head, but didn't take account of bullet drop. There you go. No way it's a professional. It's a trained shooter and not a near professional. Correct. Taylor, in the army. Hey, you're ever eating a cheese gobble? Yeah, okay. Oh dear. I mean, YouTube's deleting an awful lot of people before I get a chance to. It's quite funny. British Defence League. Well, that probably means you're Ukrainian, I guess. Dear. Comments are getting deleted quicker than I can read them. That's funny. Nerves always play a big role in sports too. Get what you're saying. Maybe it was a professional trying to pretend he was an amateur. Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean that's genius, isn't it? You get a professional sniper to ensure that he kills somebody, but he's got to do it in a way that makes him look amateur, so he then aims for the jugular. Too much Hollywood, I'm afraid. They want to explain to us, do you think they will find the person? Who knows? You live in a surveillance state like the US, like Britain. It's very difficult to travel anywhere without it being recorded. Cars, people, you know. There's already video out that there was a guy on the roof. So, yeah, I think they'll find somebody. Taylor, I guess you cannot defend that. I don't know, you just keep getting deleted, mate, and it's not me. It hit his body armour, okay. I mean, YouTube is having a field day with a lot of your comments, which is quite funny, really. Saves me doing it. Grade 1, yeah, I'll disagree with that. He'll never be found. Yes, it was a planned kill. Sure, planned kill. Doesn't mean it was a professional kill. Whatever the hit was, poor man is dead at 31 years of age. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, why would Israel do it? Yeah, it's not Israel. What wasn't a professional hit? Well, Charlie Kirk, clearly. Apparently he was shot in the chest and he was wearing armour and the bullets... yeah, come on, Keith. I've seen the video, mate. If he was wearing armour, it's some new tactical armour that nobody's aware of that looks like a t-shirt. Salamanca brothers are looking for you, oh, are they? Well, your mum's looking for you, mate. It's bedtime. You look pretty professional. Yeah, I guess it probably does to people that have never been around guns. No cops on the roof, CIA black ops all the way. Yeah, right. His ear's fine. They're targeting a lot of people. Okay. Drone assassin. The shouty bloke. Good morning. Richard, if you're watching, I saw a notification pop up, but I didn't get a chance to read it, and it's all disappearing under YouTube, deleting people's comments. It's not me, I'm not getting a chance. YouTube's flat out at the moment. It's great. Israel killed him. I disagree. No, not that one. Taylor, it could be. Why is he not addressing your comments? Because I'm not getting to them quick enough, I guess. So you basically watch YouTube for 6 hours a day, join the club, nothing special. Oh, okay, yeah, no. I think the American political behaviour is dangerous, and I mean the left. Right thinking with that, I think it's... Yep, I agree. No rats here, mate. Lost in Lows sounds like a you problem. Jeff, show respect to me. Oh dear, right. We're off on the currencies. Lots of messages held for review. Obviously people can't be polite and respectful Just hide behind the keyboard and throw a load of abuse around. Political violence and assassination is becoming normalised. Alien, yeah, you're right. Yi Ming Dos Vidania. Levand, yeah, you need to get a bit of humanity, mate. You're a scumbag. Artificial intelligence assassin? Nah. How long do you think it will take to find the person? Well, not long, I don't suppose. Taylor. Goodbye, you're an idiot. Civil war coming. Well, could argue it's already underway, couldn't you, in some countries? Check, bud. From a geopolitics perspective, who is benefiting from this situation? Certainly isn't the left. It does, however, give Trump the opportunity to enact retribution against... Yeah, I mean, if you look beyond it, I think that it's very easy to look beyond this and start making it to be more than it is. The thing is, nobody is willing nowadays. We're all so wrapped up in conspiracy theories, and there's so much lies that have come out about various events that nobody believes anything can be just a simple event. It always has to be far, far bigger than it really is. And the truth, I think, with Charlie Kirk is that he has upset a lot of people, and there's a lot of whack jobs in America with guns. And the problem with that is you have to, if you live by the sword, you have to die by the sword. And if you've got a country that openly supports everybody pretty much having a gun, more guns than people, you've got to accept that if you have somebody that's got a little bit of a sad life and has easy access to a gun, then they can and do make decisions like this. And that's what I think's happened to Charlie Kirk. I think it is just somebody that doesn't agree with his perspective on trans rights, on the dumbing down of, you know, people. You've only got to see Charlie's his work, you know, at universities, and how angry and evil these people are. So I think there are plenty of people that would have wished him dead. And look in the chat, you know, there's some scumbags in this chat, in my chat of all things, you know, just some English bloke living in Russia, and there are scumbags in there. So yeah, I think I don't think it's anything more sinister than just a horrible, vile piece of shit with a twisted brain that felt that the best thing to do was to shoot Charlie Kirk. I think that's it. I don't think it's any more sinister. I don't think it's Mossad. I don't think it's CIA. I don't think it's leftist, rightist, or anything else. I just think it's a very fucking fucked up individual. Sunshine coming in the future. Yeah, I agree. Kingpin looking motherfucker. Okay. He would say something against the left. Charlie died or not. Yeah. Your house looks very fancy, geez. Not really. Guess no reply to that. It's probably your opinion. Do you know what? I'm not getting a chance to reply to a lot of stuff, because there's a lot of trolls, and YouTube is flat out deleting. Not backed up by facts. Oh, okay. This was a deep state's attempt. I disagree. Go and sleep. Nonsense. It depends on your beliefs. Chuck buddy. Benefits no one because evil way overplayed their hands. They are just panicking. Yeah, again, I think people, it's the knee-jerk reaction. Conspiracy theory straight away now. We live in a world where conspiracy theory used to be the extreme. Now it's the norm. The EU and the UEFA are enemy. Yeah, you're a traitor. Adam, screw on, go fuck yourself. You're a traitor to the West. Am I? Really? Okay. And you're a fucking retard. See, look, they all come out, don't they? Look at them all bashing away at the keyboard in their mum's basement. Putin, Putin done everything. Putin done it. Fucking get a life, you sad muppets. Russia's crap tech and can't control their own. Really? Well, root monster, you need to educate yourself, you muppet. Rocco, yeah. I'll get arrested for saying what I'm saying, will I? Okay. Shouty bloke. Weon reported that Australia was joining BRICS. I think that's a stretch. I'll stand for India, do you? Okay, cool. Oh my God, you look just like... Goodbye. BRICS without India is correct. India, you're absolutely right. Only Brits fear Britain, it's not North Africa. Political violence is absolutely disgusting. 2 daughters that will only come to know their dad through his videos. I think it's a son as well, isn't it? I think it's son and daughter, not 2 daughters. Well, it might be 2 daughters and a son, but I'm sure he's definitely got a boy. Oh dear. Why is the Republic of Moldova happening? Transnistria. Good question. Why? Why is Nepal suddenly flared up? Just because. No drama with Nepal at all recently, and then all of a sudden, boom. Yeah, okay. Funny that. Week after China and India sign an agreement, I think. Backpack reviews. No, can't be asked. They won't find who did it. Does not fit their agenda. Hey, you don't know. Crazy tough shot. That was not a tough shot. What sad world we live in. Yeah, you've got to enjoy life while you can, haven't you? God, all these muppets that say about Breaking Bad, like I've never heard that before. They obviously think they're geniuses that are coming out with something original. I wish they would come out with something original. Kirk was awesome, just still under Schofield brainwashing. 1 for 60,000. Okay. This man is exposing the IDF. Okay. Yeah, all this Hank stuff. I mean, for a start, I don't watch Breaking Bad. I never have. I don't really care about the reference. It doesn't affect me in any way other than, you know, as long as I can delete it. And I'll just delete it because it's just crap and it's just rubbish. Doesn't serve any purpose. Put a damn shirt on. No, my house, my garden. Suck that. Justice for Charlie. Let him live. Who refueled their planes? Whose airbase didn't? Yeah, there's some good questions to be answered there, isn't there? If flight radar is anything to go by. Can you see the chat? No, Noobscope. I see some of it. A lot of YouTube is... Because a lot of abuse just gets automatically deleted by YouTube, so I don't get a chance to delete it myself, which is a bit disappointing. God bless Charlie Clerk and may he rest in peace with our Lord Saviour Jesus Christ. Unless you support terrorists again. No, do you know, you're an idiot, so you can go. You're just a muppet. See you later. What a joke. Okay. They killed Joe. Yeah. You meet Putin? Oh yeah, all the time. Yeah, yeah. Regular. We go out for a beer. Why ain't leftist Rosie O'Donnell? Yeah, vile creature, isn't it? Illegal immigrant in England. Didn't she know entered lawfully? Well, she's probably one of the safe havens for her, isn't it? A vile creature that is. Died for the cause, Liam. Yeah, you're right. Regardless of how people think of the Kirk situation, it was one hell of a shot. No, it wasn't. It was not one hell of a shot. I'm telling you now, that was not one hell of a shot. The size of her head, and he didn't get hit here, which is where a sniper would take the, you know, that the premium place is just here. That's perfect. So it's 6 inches away from there. Wasn't a good shot. At 200 metres, I can hit a 10 pence piece at 200 metres. So no, it was not a hell of a shot. Is it World War III? No, discussed that already, Tony, in another video. Go and have a look. It explains why it won't be World War III. Wish the UK could have guns. Oh yeah, we could be just like the US then. Sounds brilliant. Bad enough with knives. What would you do when you... Okay, so yes, we'll go. No idea what that means. He was on Israel, so they shot him. I don't think so. Not my opinion. You're welcome to yours. At the end of the day, he done what he set out to do. I don't think he did. I think he was well on the way to doing what he wanted to do. But he was a young man, 31 years of age, for Christ's sake. Someone who hunts deer could quite easily make that shot. It was 160 metres from an elevated position. You don't have to be... There you go. Exactly that. Make your own bullets, yep. Let me jump, right. Ricochet from his vest. Righto. Too much Hollywood. Okay, Svengali, righto. More chance being caught on a Ring doorbell CCTV, to be honest. Well... Yeah, I think in the US he probably got a big chance of it. America is Israel. Cost them some gun deaths every single year so we can have the Second Amendment. Charlie Kirk, yeah. Yeah, NRA, what's that, the largest political organisation in America, is it? National Rifle Association's got an awful lot of power. So, you boys will never be without your guns, I don't think. Zionism is evil, I agree. Mr. Glock. Mr. Cock, more like. Go fuck yourself, you retard. You can go. Superb conspiracy. The unalive JFK. Charlie got shot, did he? Oh, right, okay. Vaccinated clown. Guess again, Muppet. I was told it was the jugular, not the chest. Yeah, it was a miss. USS Liberty incident. It's a neck area. Yep. Never forget. Charlie Kirk. Yeah, Tyrone. Yeah. Did an awful lot of good for the world, that guy. Can't fuck up people. It wasn't a professional. Yep. I'm just a gun collector and I can hit a plank at 100 yards with a Glock 19 with one size. All those people that don't shoot need to shut up. Jeff Hodge nailed it, absolutely. It's always people trying to tell people about guns and what's a fantastic shot and what's this and what's that, and they've got no clue themselves, never been around a gun. Anybody that's been around guns knows exactly that that was not a professional hit. Stephen G, did you movie from the UK to Russia? If so, that is interesting. Stephen G, yes, I did. Hi from Germany. Satan, hi. Vote Reform, Henry the Ape. Good name, I like that. They should look closer to home. One shot and gone without getting caught. More professional than this. Not even... No. Why? Why? And you hide behind a keyboard and spread stupidity. Who, me? They keep unaliving people. Yeah. Svengali. Yeah, like your flags. They have him in custody now. Well, I've heard mixed reports that they arrested somebody and then they've arrested somebody that isn't the shooter. Yeah. If we had a scope, it was an easy shot. Kirk was sitting down. Yeah, it was an easy shot. Indeed. They have him in custody. FBI says so. Okay. A shot at that distance mean that was a professional at some point in their lives. No, it doesn't. I'm sorry. Chrism arc. I'm sorry. No, it doesn't. Absolutely does not. Technology moves on. If you go back to, World War II era and what was available then, no telescopic sights, for example, although clearly they were available. But if you take a rifle from that era and use the metal sights, yeah, it could be an argument for it being a difficult shot. But today's equipment, just go onto YouTube and put in 6.5 Creedmoor. Just use that as your starting point and just watch the YouTube videos where people are shooting targets 2 miles away. So yeah, 200 meters, shooting somebody in the head, it's an easy shot, an easy shot. And the fact that it wasn't a headshot and it actually ended up in the neck proves that it wasn't a professional. Utah got the death penalty, don't know. Rip Charlie Kirk. Real Russians know the force behind Putin is a cabinet selected Jews. Okay. Let's remember the wonderful Joe Cox. Yeah. Justin Simmons' death penalty sucks. He doesn't get to suffer. Well, some would argue that a prison in the US isn't really suffering. Could have been a cheap hire sniper. That is an illegal alien. Alien, like that. Rocco. Yeah, I mean, it's not a professional. Sorry, my opinion, for the reasons I've given. Debate that with anybody. Who told you this? Nobody told me this. It was me. Who thinks the government did it? Not me. I believe in that, yeah. If you're American, right to take yourself out if you want to. So much misinformation out there. Yeah, it's the norm now, isn't it? Everybody, and that's that's the purpose, isn't it? So you believe nothing. Very easily manipulated now. People are misinformation. You've got to remember that. My conspiracy theory is that he wasn't shot. His neck just did that, like JFK's head. Interesting. Deep state. They want confusion to reign supreme, as a fool and their money are soon parted. Chrismark. Justin. Okay, Dina, you believe in that. Interesting how others view our US gun rights. Yeah, well, it's like a bad relationship. It's very easy to be on the outside of it and look in. The reality is there are too many guns in the US now, and there's too many whack jobs. So, will you ever be able to do anything about the gun problem in the US? No. Will this kind of thing always go on now? Yep. Because they've got the tools. How often have you got pissed up and got angry with somebody? And now imagine you had a pistol strapped to your waist. Yeah, it's too easy, isn't it? If you've got to beat somebody to death or stab them, it's a little bit more personal. It's a little bit more difficult. But pulling a gun out and just pulling a trigger at 200 metres away, not difficult. And because it's not difficult, cowards, scumbags and worms will use that, and they'll do that. Fort Wayne, Indiana. Blimey. Major Johnson. God's been doing great. Kirk had evil viewpoints. Just because this happening doesn't change that. But shooting is bad and gun regulation is needed. ZM. Kirk had evil viewpoints. Okay. Let me know what you thought they are, or what you think they are. I spinky folk facts. I think he spoke facts. Michelle, yeah, I agree with you. I think most of what Charlie Kirk said, I agree with. That was a hit. Michael Turner? I don't think so. As an American, I imagine you have the idea roughly. Leftist not crying, gun control, whatever. Charlie lives on in my right nostril. Okay, well, enjoy yourself. Fill your boots. People who don't know how to attack the problem attack the people they argue with. It's a sign of low intelligence. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. If you can't have a reasoned debate with somebody without losing your temper, then you're lower intelligence, aren't you? Wait a day for it to be publicly wielded by every man and his dog. Much worse. I supply blood to the brain. I disagree with 95% of what Kirk said. Nobody deserves to die for saying what they believe. Yeah, toxic hazard. I mean, you know, that's your position. You're absolutely welcome to it, mate. I think his view on trans was absolutely on the money. I think his view on the dumbing down of education, I think was absolutely on the money. I think he was misguided about Israel, but there is evidence to support his opinion changing on that. So, yeah, I agree with a lot of what he said, to be honest. Hi, love from Arrow in England. Look, Arrow in England. Okay. But I think the person that did it had a belief behind them. Only 38 likes is poor. Well, it's a live stream, you know. People don't often bother to double tap the screen. But, you know, if you do, yeah, double tap the screen, hit a like, that would be good. Question for you, you don't even live in America, so I speak on our politics, live your own lives. Okay. Kirk should be with us right now, absolutely sick. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, 2 kids and a loving wife. Yeah, and, you know, I don't understand why people are sort of forgetting that and just, oh, you know, some people saying he deserved to die for what he said. It's like, really? Listen to yourself. Have you never been angry? Have you never said something that you later regret? Yeah, anyhow. Cat guy. Yeah, cat guy. Deep state. God bless Charlie Kirk. That's Charlie Kirk, sorry. It's okay being gay, is it? Oh, fill your boots. Stephen G, sensible question. What made me decide to move to Russia? Came here on holiday. My world turned upside down because it's completely the opposite of what you're all told in the media. And I mean complete opposite. Wonderful people. Genuinely wonderful people. Very sincere, very genuine. Fucking tough. Beautiful country. Wonderful, wonderful weather. Wonderful food. Wonderful climate. Wonderful area to live in where we are, surrounded by vineyards. Everything's better. So, yeah, that's why, mate. Charlotte Bullen was pro. Yes, yeah, that's most. No, not that one. That one. It's rude. Can't be doing with rude people. You're pro-Russian. Okay, Ollie? What's pro-Russian? Break that down. Am I pro-Russian? Doesn't make a lot of sense, does it? Because that would imply that I support every Russian in the world. I'm pro-Russian. Well, how can I? I don't know every Russian in the world. It's a dumb thing to say, isn't it? Or it's a dumb question. You put a question mark on the end of it. Pro-Russia. I'm pro-truth. And yeah, I do love this country, I've got to say. Yeah. What the fuck is wrong with you? Yeah, you look like a guy who would move to the Southeast Asia. Okay. You talk a lot of sense. Thank you. Rip Charlie, true American patriot. This Australia? No, Major Johnson. This is Russia. Southern Russia, to be exact. Just outside a seaside resort town called Anapa, on the coast of the Black Sea, about 50 miles from Crimea. Raise the colours. Okay, the left is evil. Charlie Kirk has died. Chat is mad today, Chris. Yeah, it is. Shouty bloke. Yeah. A lot of trolls, as usual, isn't it? No one's laughing at you. Ouch, good one. Guns don't kill people, robbers do. I'm on my 12th wipe, okay. Where's the space? Alright, Charlie Kirk. They will never kill our values, they will never silence our voices. Well, this guy literally knows nothing. Okay. Well, why are you here then? Oh, sorry, why were you here? Gone. Hello, what's happening? Well, I was just getting rid of a few trolls. Government containment list. Hi mate, okay, just want to know what the big thing was other day. Big thing, what was the big thing? Dunno, not sure about the big thing. Anyone else realise that there's been signs of, yeah, okay. You've been in hospital, okay, Dazzler. I hope you're all right now. Greetings. Greetings indeed. Oh, Charlotte Scott. Butt hurt. Dos Vidania. Home now, but okay-ish. Keep up the good work. Respect to you. Thank you, Dazzler. It's been off YouTube for a whole year. Came back with 51,000 subscribers. I don't know how. Mr. Stepper, well done. Bots. Yeah, of course. Merciless. Wake up from nightmare. No husband, no daddy. Yep, exactly that. Speculation. Duck the Deek. Yeah. Charles Scott, we get you copy and paste in the same sentences. Yeah, gone. I'll get to them eventually, if YouTube doesn't first. The big thing you left on a shore. Oh, Dazzler, I can't remember. I don't remember what happened this morning, mate, so, you know. I'll have to, yeah, no idea, big thing. Depends when I did the short. Guns don't kill people. USA is fucked up with their gun laws. Yeah, I mean, I've spent a lot of time around guns. I like them. They're good fun. In the right context. Ash, I remember you lived near Hastings, GPR. I was there, really nice place. Eek. Yeah, once, a long time ago. Two very idiotic points, okay. Not everyone is allowed to own guns in America. Yeah, certain states. Certain states have got tougher regulations than others. I don't understand that. But then I don't understand why you've got state law and federal law. Surely federal law, when it comes to guns, should be the same across the country. Same rules. Why make it complex? Why make it so that you can do one thing in one state and not in another when it comes to guns? Daft. You know, I came from an industry where it was heavily regulated, and one of the reasons that I left that industry and packed it up was the regulations regarding working on EV vehicles. And I discovered that in the UK, the regulations for the service department were different to the body shop. And that was, if you don't understand that, that's very, very dangerous. Ultimately, EV regulation should be the same. It should be an industry standard for working on it, and that should be the same for guns. Whatever the rules are, it should be nationwide, not statewide, in my view. Why should it be different from state to state? It should be federal, and that's it, done. Are you from Austria? No. Austria, throw another shrimp on the barbie. Back to geography for you. Natalia, hi Chris. It's really crazy and extremely sad to observe American people from two parties fight each other. It's like two arms winning to kill their own. But yeah, yes, well done, Natalia. Exactly that. Right, loop. Sorry. People that talk like that are just not really any value, are they? Not worth having around, are they? Ben's, don't forget the creator of all things. Major Johnson, yeah, exactly. That's why he's gone. Charlie always gave a pro-Christian position on everything. Okay. Well, you're entitled to your opinion. I guess he was deaf almost on the impact the bullet severed. Can't read artery straight away. It would have taken a little while. I think, shock probably shuts the brain down. It's a bit like getting knocked out in a boxing ring. The brain just gets an overload and turns off. I'd imagine that it was an awful lot of that brain just turning off. And you can tell by the way that his arm moves. Brain just went into shutdown. And, what a disgusting commentary. Okay. Potato supremacy. He was pro-Israel. Well, he definitely was, but I think there was a change in his attitude as of late, over the last few months. I think, as that position, really, you are a bit of an outsider now in the world if you think that you can defend Israel's position, as it has made itself a terrorist state, under international law. So to be able to defend that position, I think you've made yourself a bit of an outcast. And I think that he was on the path to actually having a bit of an awakening with that. Certainly some of his interviews, he was critical of Netanyahu and the government. So I think he was on that path. Please rephrase, I don't completely understand what you're trying to convey. Major, this UK, no. I'm from the UK, but this is Russia. Look, this definitely ain't the UK, is it? Look, it's September, it's sunny, there's a swimming pool. Definitely not the UK. Free Palestine, I agree. Guns beat knives, yeah, but unfortunately, knives are a lot more difficult to use than a gun. You can shoot somebody, you ain't even got to be near them. Knife, yeah, you've got to be up close and personal. His last words were violence. No, I don't think they were. I think he was asking a question. His last words were asking a question. Which part of the UK are you from? Southeast. Some random guy talking. Did you expect a Prezi? University police have no idea how to harden their soft targets. More people die here in the US from car accidents, actually. Yeah. Maybe. Liberals are animals. Black crime is a problem. Okay, Nate. Charlie was murdered because he didn't divide the political wings. He sought conversation and understanding from both sides. That's why he got killed. Got killed because we need to be divided. Well, yeah. That's the way, isn't it? I only got halfway through my list of stuff. Matthew Turner. Yeah. John Caesar. Let's try and catch up with the chat, shall we? Dina preach. Free our brothers and sisters in Palestine. May the Lord always protect them. Free Palestine from Hamas. Okay. Do you think US is safe for a common man nowadays? I don't know, Anthony. I've got no interest in going there. I did, and that's a shame because I always wanted to go to the US. Always wanted to go there. Lots of friends went there for many, many years, and none of them go there anymore. You know, and I don't mean 2 or 3 people. I mean tens of people would go to the US all the time, and none of them go there now. So what's that tell you? Blah, blah. America had very little gun violence before left-wing moral decline. Okay. Where you're based out of? Just outside a town called Anapa. A-N-A-P-A. Put that in Google Maps. On the coast of the Black Sea, about 50 miles from Crimea. Put a fucking shirt on and change your camera angle, you look like a pred. Okay. Hans YOLO. What a fucking genius you are. I know what you do in your mummy's basement. Dos Vidania. No. Turning sin and trusting you. Okay. Hello, sir. How are you? I'm very well, thank you. The NRI isn't even close to the biggest political organisation supporting gun control. Yeah, well, registered members and stealthy members are not necessarily the same thing. Free Israel, you can go. You're a scumbag. Sony TV, where are you from? From the UK. Stanley Charlie at 31 years old. They feared too many years. He would be, yeah. UK's new Middle East, right? Wait, so you think a hired professional would purposefully make a clean hit? Where's the logic? Ayaz, you think a hired professional would purposefully try and miss or try and make a cock-up of the shot? What? I mean, you're watching too many movies. I think you've been watching Will Smith shooting into a moving train and think that's reality. Don't worry about American rights, fix your own shit old country. He would choose to make it look amateur. Yeah, of course. Yeah. Righto. Can you speak Russian quite well? No. It was just a crazy Democrat who sold on all the rhetoric. World War III is going to happen. I disagree. I've got a video out about that. Have a look on my channel. It's very simple. Clearly explains why it won't. England all the way. Okay, Lee. Why would a professional not choose to make the shot look unprofessional? Right, you clearly have not been around guns. You have no concept of a shot like that. So, can't be bothered to argue with you. Spamming the chat with nonsense. God of hearts in the sun, blah blah. I don't live in a US city, so I don't deal with anything like that you all see. Right, you're a scumbag. Goodbye. Most Europeans saying nonsense about guns. Okay, you think the government having a monopoly on force is okay when governments are... I haven't said any nonsense about guns. I haven't said that shouldn't have them. Just stating the fact. You've got a load of them. Consequently, it will never be a time when you haven't got them. I haven't said anything about them. Other than that, farmland US is where I'm from. Cool. Lost in Lows. Hi mate, hope okay. Weather still looking great. You got some dickheads on here today. Yeah, well, it's that time of day, innit? They let the first guy go, then arrested another. Okay. I didn't know they'd arrested another. I've been doing other stuff. Rip Charlie Kirk. Yeah. Charlie Kirk, sorry. Yeah, rip. MSSP lover. Trash bro. Yeah, he's gone. King Charles Shaw had been quiet. Blame climate change. Yeah. Is he just minutes behind the chat or something? Yeah, because a lot of talk. I've done shit, man. Fixing and consuming. Oh, okay, John. Yeah, it just takes a while for YouTube to delete the crap and for me to delete the crap. So, yeah, I don't bother with the trolls because they're of no value. They bring nothing to the chat. "200 foot under pressure, surrounded by people trying not to be seen and then escape without being seen." Yeah, how much shit. Zach, you have no clue, mate. Sorry. How long have you lived in Russia? 2.5 years, something like that. Utah does have the death penalty. Okay. Oh, well, fate to disarm the sheep. Okay. Yeah, Utah has capital punishment. Hope they got their man. It's the only thing with capital punishment, isn't it? You better make sure, because there's no coming back, is there? Benji. Don't know. Dina Ayaz has gone. He's, as you said, a brainwashed idiot. Nice brickwork. Where are you from, bro? I'm from the UK, now living in Russia. Travis Tran shot me such a young life, still very sad indeed. Yeah. Left wing rich hunt. Pays professional to do it. I don't think that was a professional, Zach. Explained why already. What do you think the current situation in Ukraine? Anthony, yeah, well, only getting worse, isn't it? You know what I say? It's got to get worse before it gets better. Dazzler, yeah, should be thinking of him and his family. Yeah. Yep. The reason I mentioned the shot is because there's an awful lot of people running around on social media saying it's a professional here, it's a CIA here, it's a Mossad here, it's professional here, it's professional sniper, and that absolutely is not the case. It's not a professional sniper. That the evidence shows that clearly. The same as the Trump attempted assassination was not a professional sniper. Come on, Britain. Can you shout out my brothers, Ray, Mike Oxlong there? They love watching. Okay. I'm saying left over Diddy all here if you're interested. No, can't be doing with 0.9. What's that, your IQ level? Definitely in the USA, very easy these days. Hello, by the way, weather's still good out there. Yes, it is. Still lovely. A bit windy though, that's the only thing today. But yeah, still good enough for me to be in shorts and no t-shirt. Hi, hello, I'm here in the Philippines. Where is your country? My country is the UK, currently in Russia. What are the gun laws like in Russia? I don't honestly know, Stephen. I know that it's not straightforward, especially for a foreigner. I think there's a few years involved in getting certain things, but I've also been told that you know, it's just fines if you haven't got a licence and stuff like that. So I don't know. It's the honest answer. I don't know, so I'd rather not comment. I haven't had a chance to get involved in it yet. The UK has a gun problem, a tyrannical government and a lack of guns. Yeah, some say Guy Fawkes had the right idea. So yeah, Rob, may his death not be soon forgotten. Yeah. Chicago and NYC have gun bans, terribly dangerous cities. Yeah, well, unfortunately, law doesn't come into effect with a criminal, so that's the problem with having easy access to guns. Once they go into criminal hands, it doesn't matter whether you ban them or don't ban them, or whether you put a stiff penalty in place, because if a criminal's got it, they don't care about the law. Summer Livingston. Who is this? This is me. Oh, ugh. Ooh, I don't want you on my channel with a name like that. Ugh. Go away. Benz, if guns go away, people will still die even worse ways. Yeah. The only thing I found myself disagreeing with Charlie was abortions. Yeah, I mean, James, don't know. That's the debate that I haven't dived into. Much like chemtrails, I haven't looked into it enough to have an opinion on it one way or another. And I'm sure lots of people will say, oh, you should have an opinion on it. Well, I tend to form an opinion based on a bit of understanding of the subject and getting the facts together. And I haven't. So I haven't got an opinion on it. He was a hate monger. I disagree. Lifted. Free Palestine. Indeed. I agree with that. Indeed. He loves the Second Amendment, does he? Although I couldn't argue against his views. No, that's the thing, James. You know, I found that I agreed with an awful lot of what he said. And I have to take my hat off to the man for being one of the first outspoken people about how evil the trans ideology is. And certainly how it had been hijacked and turned into something. And he was one of the people that was speaking out against it, and just on that basis alone he had my support. Free Palestine, I'll always read that out. Nobody should support the killing of another human in cold blood. Agree, Johnny. I have an opinion, but there is some irony in the fact that a guy who fought so hard for gun laws was undone by that very thing. Well, it's not really ironic, is it? Free Palestine, right, okay. Give it a rest, mate. Lifted Truth hates those who don't want it. Right, you can go. As soon as you spam the chat, you have to go. Why don't you all have a bit of respect in the comments? Rip Charlie Kirk, yep. He had a family and children. Mike, absolutely. You can go, you're a clown. Good morning from Northern Carolina. NC, Emerald Coast. I know somebody from NC. No, sorry. That's Northern California, Chris, you spastic. And you've got your glasses on. Sorry, Northern California, Emerald Coast. My apologies, I read that too quickly, didn't I? And as it turned out, I didn't read it. I like to talk to people from different places. What are your thoughts on Edward Snowden, or Snowden? Don't know enough about him to have any thoughts. Not a subject I've researched. So, haven't got any thoughts on Edward Snowden. Don't know enough about it. Mike Johnson, these comments are the mirror that respect the society. Painfully hard to look into this mirror. Josh, he needs some milk, does he? Okay. James Brown, do you think Putin is a decent human being? I think Vladimir Putin will go down in history as one of the greatest leaders of our time. On a personal level, do I think he's a decent human being? Yes. For the simple fact that he puts Russia and Russians first. So, that's not about his own agenda, he's not, necessarily his own views, but he's putting his people and his country first. So on that basis, yeah. Ah, here you are, Luna. This thing's been missing for 2 days, look. Decided to come home, have you? Well, your mum will be happy. Come on, Luna. Buggered off for a couple of days. Wife, I've got a present for you. Come here and you'll see. In you go. Oh dear. Right, where was I? Yes, James, I do. Josh G. Josh. Do one. Roger, how much are houses in Russia? How much to put radiators in my house? Impossible question to answer. More details, please. Join my Telegram group. Give me some specifics and I'll give you an answer. Varies from town to town, region to region, district to district, size of the house, what it's made out of, how much land's with it. Possible question. Cheaper than they are in the UK. There you go. Have you ever been wife? Joke. Yeah, you're an idiot. Oh, trolls today, aren't there? All crawled out from their rocks, haven't they? Andreas, thank you. Where do you fall on the Charlie stuff? Loaded question, isn't it, Blake? Tegan, where are you from? I'm from the UK, now in southern Russia. How warm is it there? It's about 26 degrees today, so weather's just turned in the last few days. But it's been up around 30, plus 30s. But 26 today, it's very pleasant, but a bit windy. Don't fall for the Russian propaganda. It's like Western propaganda, but more savage. Okay, James. Any thoughts on reform? Oh dear. Reform is going to be the party that doesn't want to lead that's going to end up leading and then going, shit, now what? Going to be looking for the manual that tells them what to do, aren't they? Does that mean that I don't support them or I support any other? No, they're all a bunch of shit, to be honest. Point 9's gone. Double D, yeah. Should be some kind of psychological evaluation, shouldn't there? All of the keyboard warriors that live in mum's basement, single, living at home with mummy in the basement, bashing away at the keyboard. Can I have a gun? No. Surprised you're allowed to say these things without the state getting involved. Well, that's because I live in a free country. Yeah, I know, controversial, isn't it? I've never felt so free. I know what I prefer. I'd rather live in this country labelled by the West as a dictatorship, which is bullshit, but let's go with it. I'd rather live in a dictatorship than the democratic West, where I have no rights at all. Thanks. It's not what Second Amendment says. Have the police got any idea of who shot him? Don't know yet. Let's wait and see what comes out of it. Zero the Hero is a Mossad operation. He started to criticise Israel just like Kennedy. Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think the actual hit was professional enough. And I don't think he was outspoken enough to be an enemy of Israel. There's an awful lot more people that are far more outspoken about Israel with a lot more clout. So I don't think so. That's my opinion. But, you know, we're all entitled to our opinions. It's the whole point of a conversation, isn't it? Although some people clearly didn't think that was a good idea. Weather's still looking good? Yep. Death. Yep, can't escape death. One-way trip. Weird, isn't it, how some people sort of carry on as if this is like a practice trial, you know, practice run, and they're going to have another go at it. Going to sort of have a go at this life, make the mistakes, and then put them all right in the next one. Here for a good time, not a long time. Hitting the jugular makes you bleed out in 180 seconds. 180 seconds is a long, long time. Rip Charlie, Jesus died, okay. Why are you in Rusland? Because I want to be. Why are you a retard? Safe. Because when you say something like Rusland, you're of no value, really, so you can correct that or you can jog on. In fact, no, you can just jog on. Can't be doing with that. Retards. Hi, brother, sister. What do you think of Israel? Talking about the Zionist state, not biblical Israel. Well, by international law, Israel is now a terrorist state. Fact. By international law. According to international law. After their attack on Qatar, that hasn't made... That's it. You know, that's simple fact. They can't hide behind anything. They have killed innocent civilians and achieved nothing. Natalia, yeah, that's interesting. Clayton from the Redacted. Okay. Free Palestine from who, you dope? Danny Costello, where have you been, mate? Living under a rock, or are you just that ignorant? I think you're just that ignorant, so you can go. See you later. Bye-bye. It's like my democracy. Tango, what the hell comments is this bloke reading? So you might not see a lot of the stuff. Some of it's withheld. Sometimes YouTube deletes it. Yeah, I'll get the stuff eventually. But I'm a long way behind with the chat, I'm guessing. The shouty bloke, Chris, interested in your views on Herr Starmer's support of Mandelson in light of the Epstein releases. Okay. Haven't got any views on that at the moment, shouty bloke. Not something I've looked at. Zero the Hero. Yes, I've heard that. It's had a good summer. I was talking to somebody the other day and they said it's been really good. It's quite nice. James Brown, can you honestly say that living in Russia is an intelligent move considering Putin's actions on the world stage? James Brown, yes I can. I absolutely can. 100% I can, because I've done it. I'm not just reading mainstream media bullshit. So yes, I can say it's an intelligent move. Safer. Next to zero crime. I haven't seen any crime since I've been here. Next to zero homeless. Next to zero unemployment. GMO food is banned in Russia, so quality of food far better. Healthcare makes the NHS look like a backwards country. Climate. So yeah, I can. I actually can, because I'm doing it rather than just sort of reading mainstream media and going, oh. So yes, James, I'm sorry, I can honestly say that living in Russia is an intelligent move. Yeah, bulletproof vest, no bulletproof vest, blah, blah, blah. But ultimately, bulletproof vests are only any good against, you know, maybe somebody with a handgun, a bit more close quarters kind of stuff. But a headshot's a headshot. What are you going to do? Yeah, I mean, it's very easy to say should have had more security, yada, yada, yada. But it's very difficult to make something completely secure and be public. Unless you get a Pope-mobile, maybe. Bulletproof glass and just sit inside it. He had literally no security at all. I think he had some security, but on a basic level. What comments is he reading? I haven't seen one yet. Well, just read yours, Roger. The devil's tricks are very good. Okay. Is he even live? Well, hang on. Yes, I'm just a long way behind the chat, Roger. It has a huge delay, yes. Yes, he's behind. Why is Russia starting shit with Poland? Russia isn't starting shit with Poland, Fred Hinkle. That's just Western media lies. And yeah, don't forget everyone, September the 13th in London. Gizmo, yeah, apparently that's going to be a big event. Fred, those missiles weren't from Russia, that's shown already. Yeah. Russia didn't start anything, correct, Natalia. Messages are being auto-censored, so my shit isn't posting. Double D, yep, they are. Not even feasible in crowds that large. Raise the colours. Have you been on a national sporting event? They have snipers on buildings. It was definitely feasible. You get France, England, Spain. They're all collapsing right now. Stephen, yeah. Let's get rid of you. Gradually catch up. Bulletproof vest. Good to see you again. I hope you're well. Diligence. Yep. Keeping very well. Thank you for asking. Double day. University. James Brown, what made you choose Russia as your destination? Came here on holiday in October 2021, fell in love with the country and the people. Armchair experts, yeah, plenty of them. This is often the case, they've got no experience of the subject matter. Jaden, we gave out sandwiches to the homeless people. Good for you, well done. Professionals don't make mistakes. That's why they're professionals. You assume deep state assassins are professionals. He was definitely a professional sniper. He was definitely not a professional sniper. I think it's fair to say. When liberals can't win a truthful argument, they destroy the truth teller. Ethan, wrong. Why did you say thing? Thank you. What you doing, Luna? Where have you been? Hmm? Meow! Where have you been? Oh, you're off again. Oh, Ethan, you're just rude. Off you go. Yes, Double D. Ethan is just rage baiting. He's rage masturbating now. I think they took him out, but they just made him a martyr. Britain is rising. Yeah, I think he's going to be bigger now than he was before. Sash, hi. How hard is it to move to Russia, Stephen? Depends what country you're coming from, but ultimately Russia has an immigration policy. If you follow that policy, you follow the criteria and you meet the requirements, yeah, jump on a plane and off you go. I moved here with a suitcase. A couple of suitcases, but you get the idea. Are you on vacation? No, I'm not. This is home. Yo, man, I need some hot coffee. Okay, good for you. Are you from the UK? Yes, Sash, I am. Ethan's gone. Mark, right, yeah, it's pretty brutal, isn't it? The thing is, we're all dulled down a little bit with Hollywood, aren't you? You see this kind of stuff, you know, in films all the time. Look at John Wick, Christ almighty. So we're kind of numb a bit to it. But as soon as you realise what you're actually watching is real and is somebody dying, then it really does become quite brutal at that point. Greetings, Stoic Tom. Diva, where can I donate to buy you a shirt? Don't want one, got plenty, don't wear them. Living in Southeast Mediterranean, cool, crazy. Maybe I would have considered your point before you started throwing out insults, then you clowned yourself. Anyway, so I'm definitely not listening now. Cool, so where are you at? You can have 10 minutes of silence. Why Russia? Seems like a very unconventional option as a place to reside, especially for a bloke from England. James Brown. Yeah, I guess given the current attitude and the way most people just aren't capable of critical thought and they just go along with the mainstream media, and that may look like that. I'm not suggesting that's you, but as I said, I came here in October 2021 and realised that I'd been lied to for my whole life. And Russia is not what we're told it is at all. And the Russian people aren't what we're told they are by the Western media. So once you get that, then you have to look at why not. If everything here is better, why not? I'm on the same sort of climate as the south of France, so why not? I have peach trees growing in the garden, apricots, cherries, plums, just growing in the garden. Yeah, so why not? Living a better life here than I ever could have done. Jake Fain, don't know. Putin is handing out free radiators. And a good video. Yep, Britain is rising, you're absolutely right. Russia is not what the BBC tells you. Amazing house, by the way. Thank you, Benz. Test account. Not a very good test, I'm afraid. Irving, lovely to see you. I'm sorry it's probably been a while since I got to your chat. Hello, Chris. Just woke up. Glad to see a live stream. Thank you for all the information. Sir, you're a gentleman. Jake. People try and make cock-end comments like that, you know. Oh, see, Charlie got domed. Prick. Talking about a 31-year-old father and husband being killed for something he said, and you think you're clever by going, oh, see, Charlie got domed. You can go. Got zero tolerance for fucking muppets like that. Stoic Tom, wow, you're in Russia. Yes, mate. Russia. There you go, look. Nice here. No, James, that's a misconception. That's not more mainstream media. Russians hold England, especially, in very high regard, actually. And they are, when I meet somebody new, first thing they say is, what do I think of Russia? Very patriotic and very proud of their country. And then at some point in the conversation, they'll say, England's wonderful, why have you left? So, no, that's not true, James, I'm afraid. Dylan Squires, oh, he's original. Retired, Stoic Tom. Toynes, what think of the beheading in Dallas? Haven't seen the beheading in Dallas, so I can't comment on that. Dazzler, can't afford it. Yeah, that's the trouble in life. You've got to generate the revenue, haven't you? So you can make choices. Brain shaker. Don't think you got much of a brain to shake, mate, but that's for Daniel. Slim Richmond, hey, you working there? No, I'm not working. I'm retired. Alien, I would move to Russia. I did. Like your platform, sir. Have a great day. Gonna short nap. Reco Con, thanks for joining me. What do you think of the beheading in Texas? Haven't got any comments on that. Nelly. How is it bullshit? Putin's been in power forever. Yeah, funny how he keeps getting re-elected, isn't it? How long before some idiot comments on that? Muslim guy 100%, is it? Stoic Tom, you ignoring me? No, I'm not. I'm just behind with the chat. Bear with. Don't keep asking me the same question, trolling the chat when I've already answered you twice. Phil thinks he'll escape death. He was pro-Israel. Stoic Tom, he's not ignoring you. There's a huge delay in answering your questions. He is retired. Yeah, thank you, Natalia. I am retired. Thanks for answering my questions so honestly. Respect to you and your choices. Thank you, James. Pleasure. More than happy to answer people's genuine questions. Join my Telegram group. You can ask me as much as you like. Happy to have a conversation. Voicemail, telephone call, video call, anything you want. You can ask me whatever you want. You just get the truth. Might not like it, but you get the truth. Dazzler. That's a good question, isn't it? I think the reality is, I know, I'll read your comment. I know most probably wouldn't, but if something did happen World War III wise, would you come back to the UK? If you would, you know your boys are in the UK. Simple fact is, if we got to that point, there is no time. It's over, it's done. So it's not like anyone is going anywhere, is it? So, you know, and that was a decision I took based on the fact that I spent a lot of time away anyway. You know, I was away with clay pigeon shooting, I was away with bike racing, I was away touring. So, yeah, I'm no real different living here than it would have been, you know, life back in the UK. Dina, yeah, I think Charlie's opinion was changing on that. James, I think you're wrong, but I respect your choice. Yeah, no, you, of course. I don't think you know enough about me and my situation, and I don't think you know enough about Russia to make that statement. I mean, you can. That's your opinion, of course, but you know, you can't say that you think I'm wrong when you don't know enough about me or clearly anything about Russia, mate. So, you know, please feel free to ask me questions, and maybe, you know, over time, your opinion might change. I'm not here to change people's opinions. I'm here to give people information, let them make their own mind up. There's too many people out there trying to change your opinion. Yes, sorry, State Tom, I am behind in the chat. Do you like Jaffa cakes? Yes, I do. Hi. Do you know exactly what's this? Killed Muslim? Storm before, cast hated. Do you like Putin? He's a good guy. I haven't met him. I'd love to meet him, but I haven't met him, so I don't know. Britain's right, but you need to contextualise why October. Clark Kent, we broke God's laws, but oh dear. Superman, climate, Russia full of snow like Rocky IV. No, mate, it's not. State Tom, you're right. It is very safe here, incredibly so. Starmer sacked Mandelson, has he? Sounds like desperation, doesn't it? Transfer the trust from yourself to the same. Okay, I think you will stand for UK rights. State Tom, I'm going to look up the visa requirements for Russia later, as I quite fancy a change. Well, visa and residence. Sorry, I'm getting a bit of a glitch. Not pro sniper. Shared values visa. Yeah, there you go, alien. Shared values visa. You look a lot happier than any person in the UK. Yeah, I'm pretty happy, got to say. Quite happy. Going out for dinner tonight. What's it like living in Russia at the moment, especially with you obviously being British? Yeah, that's the thing. I came here with that mentality. Russians don't think like we do. They're not sheep. They're not programmed and brainwashed into hatred like we are in Britain. You know, the press tells us who to hate, and we hate them. You've got to hate the French next week because they're going to blockade some ferry port or something, so we must hate them. You know, that kind of crap. Russians aren't programmed like that. They understand and they're capable of separating that a country's government is different from the country's people, and they treat people how they treat, you know, how they're treated. And ultimately, if you're a dickhead, then it doesn't matter what country you come from, you're a dickhead. So, you know, if you come to Russia and you're a dickhead, people will tell you you're a dickhead. It's got nothing to do with what country you come from. So they don't judge you based on that. They're curious, but yeah, it's been a very humbling experience coming to Russia, especially when you come with a Western attitude, which I got rid of as soon as I could, because I realised it was wrong. You can go. Cockwomble. Are there many Brits living in Russia? I don't think there are many. Yeah, I know a few, but I don't think there's many. Ooh, look at that. Some kind of bird of prey. I had a couple of eagles around here the other day. People were worried about the cats. It doesn't look a lot happier. He is a lot happier, Natalia. You are right. Derek, am I looking forward to September the 13th? I think that whole thing is a bit nefarious. Yeah. I'm not keen when people start rallying behind a flag. It is control, manipulation, and ultimately it is an age-old, tried and tested method of getting people to assemble en masse and fight. Now, that might sound like a good idea, given the current situation in the UK, but I think this rallying behind the flag is more about creating a culture and getting people to join and sign up for the armed forces. That is not necessarily going to be a good thing, but that's another story. Just made you want to move to Russia someday. And Sally, quite a few Brits here. Okay. Hello, hope you have a good day, sir. Thank you. Sasquatch from Canada says good morning. Good morning. Is language a barrier there? Yeah, it's Russian. I don't speak it. So yeah, it is a bit of a barrier. But I'm fortunate in my wife and our daughter are both fluent in English and Russian. And Google Translate's pretty good, especially as they've just upgraded it now and it's AI powered, so it does actually do what it should do. Yep, mainstream media, a bunch of liars, absolutely. Don't know why anybody bothers with it. How much truth would you say the Western government actually gives us? Well, I think that's a question you need to ask yourself. What do you believe comes from the Western government? It's very easy to believe something if you're not going to bother to research it and see where the source is. Have I been to Moscow? Yes. There you go, Natalia. We don't care about your nationality as long as you behave and respect our rules. Yep. Russia has laws. Respect them. It's very simple. It's very simple. It's straightforward stuff. You know, it's real basic stuff. You can go. What's your opinion on him dying? I think it's terrible. I think it's very sad from a human base, you know, just purely from a humanitarian basis. You know, he's a 31-year-old man with children, you know, and a wife, and he's been shot in public because of things that he says, because of his opinions. It's terrible. Absolutely terrible. Well, mate, thank you. Are you allowed back in the UK? Yeah, why not? Why not? I'm a British citizen. I haven't done anything. My geography is just different at the moment. Doesn't change the fact that I'm a British citizen. Weird people, deluded idiots saying crap. Yep. Beautiful house. Thank you, Sophie. You have a Russian neighbour as her chosen husband is Canadian and couldn't get permanent residency. Okay. Britain is rising. I have mates in Russia I've known for years. Cool. You sound like one of them. Okay. Make England great again. Our enemy is within. Anyone who doesn't realise this already is part of the problem. Yeah, your enemy is above, isn't it? You know, some people call them the elites. I think we all do because it's just easy to sort of associate with who you're talking about. But they're not elite, are they? They're just scum. Just evil. Television, yeah, told whatever narrative. Yeah, it's just your choice whether you believe it, that's the thing. Britain is rising. Get told what they want you to know. Yeah, but it's up to you what you know. It's how bothered you can be, how lazy you are. If you want to go and do some independent research, then, you know, you can educate yourself. You don't have to be told everything. Plastic, do you hate immigrants? No, of course I don't. I'm an immigrant myself. Do I hate illegal immigration? Yep. What choices do the people of Russia have? What a dumb question. Take control of government, country and pride. Do. Yeah, exactly, Natalia. It's a dumb question. Loaded. Thought you were David Gilmour for a second. God, I wish. Like to be a pound behind that, man. Truth hurts in a world full of lies. Putin gets elected because he is a true leader and loves his country. Yeah. Yeah. Official world called the West, and look at this bubble from the outside. Chris described his emotions and thoughts about it quite well. Thank you, Natalia. Not really a good place for anyone if World War III starts. Yeah, well, yeah. If you know, this is the thing. There is no World War III. You know, it's something that's thrown about a lot, but that it's just a myth. There is no World War III. There's just the end of humanity. That's not a war. That's just the end of humanity. You know, a war is ultimately where two sides collide and there's a loser and a winner. But there is no winners if we go nuclear. Nobody wins, everybody dies. So, sorry about the wind. So yeah, there is no war, it's just annihilation. Smash that like button to help Chris. Thank you, Irvin. I appreciate that. As I get older, I'm finding the scorching summer temperature in southern Med as it gets up to 45. Ouch, in midsummer. Yeah, Stark Tom, that's a bit too much. I mean, it gets hot here in the summer, but there's always a breeze, so it's really pleasant. Biggest culture shock moving to Russia and any new favourite foods? Yeah, there's a lot of Russian stuff that I like. Biggest culture shock I would say is the people. The respect that people have for you and your property. I think that was probably the biggest shock, because you know, all my life I'm led to believe that Russia and Russians are a certain way, and then you come here and find out that that's all lies and bullshit. So that's probably the biggest shock. Yeah. How do you know your information is correct, though? Well, you have to go to more than one source, don't you? And it has to be independent. If you just turn on CNN or the BBC, you're not, you know, I mean, it is information, but whether it's factual or not, yeah, you can debate that. But if you just go to one place, then you're not gathering information and making an informed decision. You're just being told something. You're just getting a narrative. The news isn't the news. It's a one-sided narrative. It's not news. It's a stupid name to call it, really. It should be government's narrative. That's what it should be. Here is the government's narrative at 6 p.m. That's what the news should be. Stoic Tommy is one of the all-time greats. How long I've been there? 2.5, 3 years, something like that. Good and bad people wherever you go. True story. Skinny Kid Yorkshire say treat people how you wish to be treated. Exactly. You look Russian. Thank you. Is there a minimum financial requirement for a retirement visa? Don't know what a retirement visa is. Don't think it exists, mate. Your minimum requirement is you must demonstrate every year that you have an income equivalent or greater than the minimum wage of the region you're living in. So you must demonstrate that you're able to support yourself. Don't think we have a retirement visa. There you go. Yeah, we don't. Russia, I love it. No, Chris, it's not that a bird. That was a new quick get back to the UK. Just kidding. Sightsee that bird. Yeah. Nature out is lovely. See a lot of stuff. Praying mantis. Love them. Get them wandering around in the garden. Really cool. What makes you think they are targeting military recruitment? Good question, Toy Soldier. This simple. When you've got a government that is permanently threatening conflict and is writing checks that the body can't cash, it either has to backtrack and go, yeah, sorry, we're really sorry about all of that, or it has to form a military. And the only way it can form a military is to scare people, divide people, and get them to unite behind a cause. That cause being the flag. Every war, that's what you support, isn't it? Support the colours, keep them off the ground. And that's what it's, in my mind, that's what a lot of this is about. So that's my answer to that one, Toy Soldier. Charlie Kirk session was done by a professional. I disagree. Are you not more worried about what they are preparing with the people they are bringing across? Well, yeah. If you want to build a military, you need men, don't care your opinion, you need men of fighting age. And if you've got a lack of them, and you've got a population that is not interested, you've got to start somewhere, haven't you? UK's gone down the drain. It's going down the drain. Fine vodka, fine women. I love Russians. It's not all about vodka. It's not just snow, bears, gangsters, vodka, horse and cart. I would fight for the UK only if we get our values and history and heritage back. Well, you won't. It's gone. The UK could be a great place. Only problem is the government picking up against us, fighting over dumb shit. Skinny Kid, it's gone. It's over. There is no coming back. There is no going back to, you know, your childhood. I don't know how old you are, but my childhood. The Britain that I grew up in doesn't exist and will never exist again. It's that simple. There's money in politics, and that means the job's fucked. So, yeah, the Britain I grew up in is dead. It's gone. Why did you send all your prisoners to a tropical paradise? Yeah, sad to see a human die in public, but we must also stop the genocide. How many Charlies have been sniped, including journalists? Two wrongs don't make a right. Did you ever have a problem with wind ruining your hair? Clown, Dosidonia. NATO exit when? Kingdom, Kobe proves the government line. I left UK 18 years ago with the first influx of Afghanistan. I could see what was ahead. Never look back. Stoic Tom, there you go. How would you solve the immigration problem at this stage? There are job natives detest. Look, that Neil, that's been an argument since I was a kid. Oh, they're doing the jobs that the locals won't. Well, if you create a benefit system that rewards people for not being in work, and those people can be better off by not working, then the benefit system is flawed. That's the first thing. Second, if you don't have a solid immigration policy, you've got a problem. And if you do have a solid immigration policy, but you just turn a blind eye to a lot of it, then you've got a problem. So dealing with immigration or illegal immigration is very straightforward. Stiffen up your immigration policy and actually stand by it. Really simple. Legal immigration and immigrants are different. Absolutely. I've noticed most of the twats that are stupid on here never show their pics. Says it all. World War III is to boost stock prices for military companies. Yeah, it's all about the MIC. It's all about the military-industrial complex. Turning over the dollars, paying the politicians. Are you American? No, I am not, Mr. Man Smith. Stoic Tom was subbed. Thank you. Appreciate that. Daniel Schwerin. Hi, Chris. I was in a Napa a few weeks ago. I saw a UK reg car. I thought of you. On another note, do you think the Napa beaches will be open next year? Well, officially, I think that's the plan. Officially, they're not open now. That said, I've seen more people this week in the sea than probably any other time. So, yeah, Russians, you know, yeah, just because there's a sign that says you can't doesn't mean you've got to listen to it. That's the Russian attitude, which is cool. Yes, I think they will be open next year without a doubt. I don't think there's any doubt of that. I think a lot of it is going to be waiting for winter, waiting for the temperatures to get down, so that any remnants are solidified and easier to deal with. Diggsy, yes I am. Natalia, yep, still a lot of pollution. Certainly at the town end, but that's where it blows into that bay. But there's an awful lot that has been done and is continued to be done. Lambo, hi Mr. Russian, hi. Between 4 properties, Greek island, Cyprus. Oh, check you out, Stoke Tom. On the protests against the government, I don't think people want to enlist. Yeah, well they don't at the moment, but you know, you get people to be patriotic. Look what's happening. They're hanging flags everywhere. What's that? They're on about patriotism, aren't they? Why? Fight for your country. You've got to fight. You've got to fight. You've got to fight. This is the programming. It's a dangerous thing. It's all part of it. Where's it leading? Rockstar, nailed it. UK ain't bad. Too many people using immigrants as a scapegoat. There are a lot of problems, for sure. Ye old cabbage. Not sure if anyone's interested, but there's a really strong documentary on here called The Agenda, Their Vision of the Future. It's all about, yeah, there's a lot of stuff. There's is it the Fabian group? That's something worth researching. There's a lot of talk about a lot of things. Yes, Eamon, they did. I think Britain was an absolutely horrific, barbaric state. Some say it still is. The benefit system hardly rewards people for not working. You get a pittance of £6 a year, so that's just utter nonsense. No, it's not, Rockstar. It's all down to the benefit system is easily abusable, and it's all down to knowing how to work the system. And a lot of people know how to work the system, and they're on a lot more than £6 a year. I can assure you of that. It's odd you say you're free, but you live in a nation where you can't speak about what? I can speak about whatever I want, Stephen. War. Oh, sorry, what? War. I can't speak about war. Yeah, I can. Look, war. Bad rock, no. Lunchtime, great listening as always. Take care and give the rest of the day, my friend. Thank you, Dazzler. Trust me, mate, nobody is going to fight for Keir Starmer. Yeah, you've caught up the chat. Brilliant. No. But, you know, everybody, the trouble is in Britain, we all focus on the current thing and we don't look further down the road. What's going to be after Starmer? Is it going to get any better? Do you think Farage is going to be great for Britain? Farage is going to be Trump 2.0. That's what Farage is going to be. He is just going to go running to Donald and saying, what do I do? I've got the power that I never wanted. Now what do I do with it? I don't know what to do. Have you got a book I can borrow? So yeah, Farage is going to be Trump 2.0. And he is going to be your next Prime Minister. The benefit system is not easily abusable. People who truly need benefits due to their participation struggle. Absolutely. They do struggle. The people that should get it struggle to get it. The people that are clever and know how to work the system get loads of it. And a lot of people study the system. And it is easily abusable. Country stands with Tommy. How do property prices compare to UK? Stoke Tom, a lot cheaper. So this house is about 200 grand UK money. Probably in my town would be 800 grand in the UK. Galloway, the best choice. I don't know about the best choice, but certainly better than anything we've got at the moment. I wouldn't fight for any PM. I would fight for the UK and my peers. I wouldn't fight for a country unless that country was looking after me and has always looked after me. I don't think it's right to fight for a country per se You should fight for your family. You should fight for your house, your home, and you should support a country that supports you and is, is a good country. You shouldn't just automatically fight for a country just because of your geography. That doesn't make any sense to me, and that's what a lot of this standing behind the flag seems to go for. Let me get the player. Let me go. Oh dear. Russian, you sound British. That's because I am, Jonas. But none will let him get the place. Farage is also a turncoat. Yep, he is. I'm sorry to say these. You in Russia? Yeah, Yates, yes I am. Problem is working youth on universal credit because there's no point in working when workers' rights haven't. Yeah, there you go. I think Prince Harry would be the next Prime Minister. Okay, you crazy. Will you have a rough winter in southern Russia? No, you have a winter like... Winter here is like a British winter, only much, much shorter and a lot less damp. Still get a bit of snow, but not much. I think we had -11 temperature-wise last year, but that sounds bad. It didn't feel like -11. Sprinkling the snow. Yeah. We have an obligation to nation and people, not to government. Alien, absolutely. Do you support Palestine? Do I support Palestine? That's a bit like saying, do I support the Isle of Wight? It's not really a thing, is it? I think what Israel is doing, or rather the Israeli government specifically, is doing by murdering innocent civilians is abhorrent and is indefensible. KG switch, you can fuck off then. People lost their dignity, that's the problem. Benefit system has always been the same, but people don't have any respect for themselves anymore. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that's happening in the UK that's beating it out of people, isn't it? Stoic Tom, I love snow. Yeah, I like snow for a few days, and then, yeah, no. River Bends, I support UK, okay. Just like Russia then, really, okay. Can't get up and go to work because they're too offended. Yeah, it's too much PC, isn't there? It needs to be a lot more simpler, a lot more common sense, and that's what Russia's like. There's none of this PC. You're allowed to be offended. Yeah, it's just a lot more common sense here. Don't be silly, Britain is rising. Sam, yes, I agree. Rip Charlie Kirk, I agree. Crazy, crazy situation. Anyway, good news is I caught up with a chat. What car do I drive? I drive a Chinese car called a Haval H9. It's like a Chinese Land Cruiser. It's a standalone vehicle. It's not a copy of anything, and it's freaking brilliant. I have to say, it is brilliant. And I will do a review of it. I keep saying it, but I will do a review of it sometime. Put it up on my channel, because it is freaking epic. This company's not willing to pay their employees a decent wage. Yep. A lot of people love the social security because they look after you. Are you the guy who got fired from MSNBC? No, I'm not. Russia is spotless and beautiful, and nearly everyone is middle class. Okay? Say that again so I can look it up. Sorry. Okay? You're missing my comments. Stoic Tom, I'm not. Well, maybe I am. Depends what you're saying. But I've caught up with the chat. That's it. So, I've got things to do. Might go swimming. But thanks for joining me. There's a lot more to be said. But that's the job for another day. So thanks for joining me. Rest in peace, Charlie Kirk. Didn't deserve what happened to him, no matter what he said, because it was just words at the end of the day. And, yeah, enjoy your lives. Don't believe what you're told about Russia unless you know about Russia. And certainly don't listen to somebody, especially a Russian, that left Russia 20 years ago and is trying to tell you what Russia's like. Because I don't want to say they're idiots, but just because their passport says Russian doesn't make them Russian. There's a lot of them left 20 years ago and they try and tell you what Russia's about. They haven't got a clue. Russia is not what it was 20 years ago. So yeah, do some research. It's the most important thing. 5 more mins and then I'm out of here. You England, no. Median wage in Napa is around 600,000 rubles a year, roughly. Yep, toxic hazard. Sounds about right. Your car, what is it again? I'll show you what it is. It's on the drive. Let me walk round here and I'll show you. Da-da-da-da-da-da. It's that. So it's kind of, well, it's its own thing. It's kind of a cross between a new Defender and a G-Wagon and Land Cruiser. But it's a H9, a Val, and it's filthy. Absolutely filthy. But it is absolutely brilliant. Fantastic four-wheel drive system. Electronic lockable diffs, radar guided cruise control, parks itself if you want it to, if you can't drive. Yeah, 360 cameras on it are amazing. You can watch underneath the car whilst you're going off-road with it. It is epic off-road. Really, really unbelievably good. Yeah, great car. Really, really comfortable. Double glazing. Great car. Great car. There are millions that aren't middle class. Have a great day. A few Russian friends and they were shocked that I live in a house. Okay. Rip Mr. Kirk, yep. Vladimir Putin, rockstar, you just outed yourself. Dos Vidania. Thank you, Chris. Have a blessed day. Thank you, Irvin. Them Russians always in a hurry. Ah, funny. Land Cruiser. Yeah. You must be a millionaire. Okay. What size engine? It's 2 litre turbo, about 220 horsepower. They do a diesel version, 2.4 litre diesel. It's got a bit more torque, but I'm not towing caravans, so didn't need it. Current exchange rate good, or do you lose on your pension? No, that's right. Quite a few other houses outside, more convenient. Natalia, yeah. Natalia lives in an apartment, it's more convenient. Yeah, I'm not an apartment guy. I like a house and a bit of garden. Western news and Western people follow news and so on. Yes. Being shocked by the fact that some Westerner lives in the house is stupid. Yep. Yeah, you got Fiesta ST with 350 brake. Yeah. Friends of mine were dropping 4x4 Cosworths into Escorts 30 years ago, I suppose, 1990, 1994, 95. So, yeah. Had a Mitsubishi Evo 8MR with about 350 horse at the wheels. Nissan GTR. Mustang with 520 brake. But cars don't impress me, I'm afraid, mate. I'm a bike guy, and once you've had a litre bike, cars are kind of boring. Anyway, thanks, guys. Thanks. I'll caught up with the chat, so that's good. Thanks for interacting, asking questions. Please join my Telegram group if there's something you want to know about living in Russia. Or if you've just heard something and you want to know whether it's true or not, and if I can help, I will. But time for me to go. Got to enjoy my life. So, yeah, thanks for joining me, and I'll see you in the next one.